Austin Igby is the Regional Advocacy Officer with the West Africa Democracy Solidarity Network. He joins us live now from the Nigerian capital, Abuja. Thanks so much for being with us here, sir. I mean, this triggered, as we heard in the story, a big response from Benin's neighbours. Can you just explain why they were so determined to stop this coup?
Okay, thank you so much. Folks on the ground in Benin have largely said, calm has returned to the city and to the capital. But the challenge with West Africa today is there is a high level of democratic backsliding. Leaders of West Africa have been becoming more like rulers, going beyond what leadership connotes. They like to perpetuate themselves in power. They try to alter constitution and then extend their tenure in office, thereby creating some uneasy environment and creating some level of tension within political party system. So, for instance, if you look around the West Africa region, there's a particular trend where opposition political parties have been there's a clear case of undermining opposition political party through suspension, some form of attack, inability to contest elections. We have seen that in Côte d'Ivoire. We have seen that in Guinea-Bissau. So it's certainly almost a tool that is happening. And Benin is not an exception.
Okay.
Benin recently amended the constitution to change the tenure, and the opposition has also been suspended.
Right. We heard in the story that ran just before we started speaking with you that ECOWAS is potentially at risk of disintegrating further. Do you agree with that assessment?
ECOWAS, if Benin coup had happened, it would have reduced the number of the members of ECOWAS, particularly at the authority of state. ECOWAS is gradually breaking apart with the three states who have exited. Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. And even though we see a military regime right now in Guinea-Conakry, in Bissau, if Benin has joined that number, it would have increased the number and would have just been left with maybe Côte d'Ivoire as a francophone country, and then Cape Verde, who is more like a francophone, and so it would just be left with only the anglophone, which is Nigeria, Ghana, Liberia, and Sierra Leone. That's weird for ECOWAS, who used to pride itself as the strongest regional bloc in the African continent. Today, it is gradually, and that is why they declared a state of emergency right now.
Okay. Following this failed coup, what do you think is next for Benin? Are there going to be any economic repercussions, or is there a risk that another attempted coup could happen?
Benin, I think President Talon should be more creative in a way that it allows democracy to truly run in Benin. It should avoid any suppression of opposition, dissent voices in the state. It must allow the opposition to play a clear role. It must avoid imposition of candidates in the April 2026 election. That is the pattern that is going on in the West African continent, West African region. And President Talon has brought that playbook. He must avoid it, because I think few days ago, just the day before the coup d'etat, attempted coup in Benin, I had made a comment somewhere else that with what has happened in Guinea-Bissau, what I tagged a staged coup, with what has happened in Guinea-Bissau, there's a likelihood that the next stop of coup will be in Benin. I didn't know it was going to happen the next day. It didn't happen. I thought it was going to happen sometime around April of next year, where there will be imposition and electoral manipulation. Then there will be an upheaval, resistance from the people, and then there will be a military attempt. But I didn't know it was going to happen the next day. So what is happening in our region is that leaders are beginning to see themselves as traditional institutions, no longer democratic institutions.
Okay, we'll have to leave it there, but thank you so much for your time and insight. We really do appreciate it. That is Austin Igby for us out of Abuja.
Thank you.